Hey everybody, welcome. My name is Rick, and we're going to start off this evening with a story I call The Semi. It was given to me a long time ago by the Lord, and I think it has a great effect on how we view the world, how we view our road, and what we're going to do. For the last 25 years, I've been a state police dispatcher, and I've taken a whole bunch of calls. Some of them are serious, some of them have been comical. Just last week, we took a call about somebody complaining about a dead elk on the roadway. Somebody had typed or put in a "please get well soon" balloon to the poor animal's leg, and it was on the roadway of a state highway, as you can see off to my right here. Other phone calls have been from people saying, "Hi, we're coming up to visit your wonderful state in January. Can you tell me what the roads are going to be like?" And I'll say, "Ma'am, it's July." And they'll say, "Well, you should know. You're a state police dispatcher." And I said, "No, ma'am, I'm sorry. I can't predict the weather that good. And if I was, and I could, I would not be working here." So there's all sorts of different calls that we have that come into the center. And like I said, some of them are serious. But most of the calls we have are driving complaints. People complaining about the way somebody else drives. They cut them off, they go erratic speeds, somebody thinks they're drunk, or they're texting on their phone. We have them all. And this story generated from one of those driving complaints. I answered the phone call from another agency that was transferring the call to us. And so here it goes. State Police, this is Rick. "Hi there, this is Lake Oswego transferring a call." "Thank you, may I help you?" "I was cut off by this semi. He almost killed me. He ran me into a bridge abutment." "Okay, sir, let me get your name, da-da-da, your phone number, da-da-da. What's the make and model of the semi?" "Well, it's a blue whatever." "Company name?" He gives me the company name. "And where are you at right now?" "Well, I'm on Interstate 205, going down the freeway. We just went by milepost 12. "Okay, sir, can you tell me what was going on?" "Well, I was on an on-ramp, and I was coming from Highway 43, coming from Lake Oswego, and I was trying to get on Interstate 205, and this semi was right next to me, and he wouldn't move over. He wouldn't yield to me." And I said, "Sir, they don't have to." "What? That's wrong. That just doesn't feel right. They should make room for me. I'm trying to get onto the highway." "I'm sorry, sir, but Oregon law says drivers merging onto a freeway must yield to cars already on the freeway, which was that semi." "That can't be right. That can't be right. It just doesn't feel right." "Well, I'm sorry, sir. That is the law. And sometimes just because it feels right doesn't make it legal." Click. He hung up on me. After he hung up on me, I began to think, and I began to ask God what he was trying to show me. I asked God some pretty good questions like, what is the road that I am on? What is the road that you are on? What does your road look like? And as I sat at my console during the free minutes, God began showing me a little bit of what the road looks like. And what came into my head was this freeway, 100 lanes wide, with traffic moving, not like Los Angeles where they just crawl, but traffic moving at 80, 90 miles an hour. There were no rules. There was no concern for anybody else. Everyone could tow whatever they wanted to. So you had a motorhome towing a boat, towing a Jeep, towing a toy hauler, or you had a pickup truck towing a fifth wheel, towing a trailer with quads on it, towing a boat, towing another car, all going in and out of traffic, and no one cared. 100 lanes wide at 89 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour, cutting in and out of traffic, trying to get one car length ahead of the person in front of you, which is only about 10 feet if you really want to make the measurement on it. And as I went down this highway, I saw the signposts, that say the towns and how far away they are. So there's Sin City, exit 5 miles. Greed and Avarice Junction, exit 10 miles. Hookerville and Hootertown, exit 15 miles. And it all looped and looped and looped. There was no end to the circle. At the exits and the entryways were 15 to 20 lanes wide. So you had Sin City in a big, huge jumbotron, neon lights, LED, as big as Jerry Jones's jumbotron at AT&T Stadium, saying, "Sin City, come and play. Just a little soul is all you leave." And the entryways, 20 lanes wide, back onto the freeway. But I began to notice as I went by every entryway back onto the freeway that there was a little small narrow lane that shot off at a right angle from the freeway. And that little lane had a very, very small signpost that said hope. And the next one said redemption. And the next one said salvation. And the next one said peace. And the next one said hope. And I began to think, oh, if I could only just get on that small little road. So I worked myself over and I got on that small little road that said hope. And I became silent because there was no other traffic around me. It was just a one-lane road that led to an intersection that I saw this huge semi at that was waiting for me. And when I got up to the merge lane, it matched me speed for speed. That semi had a beautiful golden cab. And the letters in vertical on the cab were F, S, and HS incorporated. And as I got closer to the semi, I could read those letters, and it stood for Father, Son, and Holy Spirit incorporated. On the trailer was a beautiful glistening white, and in purple on the back of the trailer was this mound with 3 crosses on the mound. And it said Trinity, Trucking, and Transport on it. And I said, wow, this is pretty cool. And so I said, come on, God, let me on the freeway, let me on your road. And God just said no. God said, this is my road. This is not the world's road. In order to get on my road, you need to yield, and you need to get in behind me. And so I had to think about that. And as I thought about that, I tried to get ahead of him, like that guy that I was on the phone with, because he tried to get ahead of the semi, not yielding and getting in behind. He tried to speed up and get his car in front of him, and he actually did. He said, I did the only thing I could do. I sped up in front of the semi, and I got in front of him. But you can't get in front of God. He's always in front of you, because God is the same yesterday, today, and forever, as it says in Hebrews. He's there right beside you. He's there behind you because he was always with you. And he is there in front of you. In John describes it this way, in John 1:30. This is the one I meant when I said, a man who comes after me has surpassed me because he was before me. Even John knew that Jesus Christ was the same yesterday, today, and forever. So that's the road. Do we want to follow in God's road, or do you want to stay in the other road? Because there's our entry ramp on that merge lane that circles around back to the world's road, and anyone can take it. So I'm going to leave this for right now, and I'm going to ask you, what road are you on? Do you want to be on the world's road, circling Sin City, circling Greed and Avarice Junction, circling Hootertown and Lustville, circling and circling, never going anywhere but down? Or do you want to go on God's road and meet God? In Matthew 7, chapter 7, verse 13 and 14, it says, enter by the narrow gate. For the gate is wide and the way is easy that leads to destruction, and those who enter by it are many. For the gate is narrow and the way is hard that leads to life, and those who find it are few. That's why it's so peaceful on God's road. There's not a lot of people on it. So if you've given your life to Christ, in the next segment, we'll talk a little bit about yielding the right of way to the Lord and what that might mean. If you haven't given your life to Christ and you're on that road, consider taking the narrow gate, that little signpost at the end, the narrow road, the one-lane road that's just you and God, and consider giving your life to the salvation of the world, Jesus Christ. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe if you want to, and we'll be back next time with the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey would say. Thank you very much.